Hello guys, in this video we will take a quick overview on ArcCatalog. So ArcCatalog is mainly the way to view and manage the data for ArcMap, because ArcMap use a very complex way of putting the data together. So they had to create, like Esri had to create a way to review or view this data and create the data in an easy way. So let's go and open ArcCatalog. So when you open ArcCatalog for the first time, this is how it looks like. It's totally empty. The first thing you need to know is to create a folder connection. A folder connection is a way to connect to a location on your machine or like a specific path, so you can have your data there or you can access your data from there. So the way to do this is to right click on folder connection and you create connect to folder, and then you locate where is your data will be located. For us here, we can have it on ArcGIS Mastery folder, course data, and we click OK. So now we have access to a specific folder on our machine. From here I can view like any data exists in this folder. For example, I have sample data that I can view right here. So right here, for example, I have a geodatabase, I have a personal geodatabase, I have some shapefiles, a layer file, I have some different files right here that we will discuss later when we create the data types. But what I want to show you here, that if you see how the data or the type of files looks like in here, this is how it looks like in the folder location. So for example, the geodatabase looks like a folder, and when you open it, this is how it looks like. It's very like complex and you won't understand what is this files do. But when you view this data from ArcCatalog, you can see the geodatabase and you can see what's inside the geodatabase. So if we go back here, another example is the shapefile. Shapefile, for example, a line shapefile looks like one file right here, and when you view it, you will see that it contains some lines. But when you go to the folder on your computer, you will see that the shapefile that called line is actually few files like mixed together, and you won't know what is this file do. So what ArcCatalog does is it combines all these files from here to make it easy to view it on ArcCatalog here, so you can understand it easier and you can create your own files right in here. So that's one of the main things that ArcCatalog is used for, but also it's not just used to connect to your local data, it's also you can connect to your database servers. So here you can create a database connection to a server, or you can create a database connections. The difference between them, they look exactly the same, but the difference between them, so here we have two types of database that we can connect it to. We had database server, which basically mean you can connect it to a personal or worker group ArcSDE, and the ArcSDE is the spatial database, and actually SDE stands for Spatial Database Engine. And the Spatial Database Engine, or ArcSDE, is mainly help you to combine all this data in one database on a larger scale. So add database server help you to connect it to personal or worker group ArcSDE on SQL Server database. In the database connection, it's more an enterprise kind of database, like for larger organizations, and it mainly connected to a spatial ArcSDE but on Oracle. So that's the two different types of between them, and we will get back to that later. And here also you can connect to ArcGIS Server, and if you know what is ArcGIS Server, is basically instead of having your data on a local machine, you can actually host it on a server so people can access it from the web. So in order for you to manage this data on ArcGIS Server, you can create a connection right here. Also, we have my hosted service, and this is something we will use because it's actually connected, can be connected to our organization account that again we created before. So my hosted service, I can right click on it and say sign in. You go to ArcGIS organization URL, you add our organization name, agm.org, continue, again add my organization account, and sign in. Once I sign in, now I am connected to my organization account. So if I published anything on my organization account, I can manage it from here, and I can also publish any map right from here or from ArcMap after we sign in. So that's where we use my hosted services. Ready-to-use services is also the same thing, but it's services provided by Esri. So this is some data provided by Esri that I can access through my organization account as well. So this is one of the good things about using or having an ArcGIS organization account, is that you can have access a lot of data that Esri can provide for you. And the last way of connection here is tracking connection, and this is a very specific thing for tracking. So for example, if you are like a transportation department or you are a specific business that you have vehicles in the streets, you can install a tracking devices in them and manage it from here. So this is the different type of connections. And the last one we didn't talk about is Toolbox. So here you can manage your own custom toolboxes from this folder right here. Also, one of the things you can create on ArcCatalog is to create a model builder, which we will discuss later, or you can run any toolbox, or you can run any kind of analysis or extensions from here as well. Also, the last thing I want you to know that we will use ArcCatalog to create our data on our local machine. So for example, I can come here, I can right click and I can say create new. I can create a file geodatabase or personal geodatabase, or I can create a layer, or I can create a shapefile or a custom Python toolbox. We will get through this different kinds of data and how we can create each one of them and what's the difference between them. But mainly this is what ArcCatalog is: to manage your data and connect to different connections, and also to view your data. So I can also view my MXD right from here. So if I open my previous MXD, the USA one that we opened earlier, right here, I can view it like exactly like I view it on ArcMap, but I have limited way of using the map here. I can just only maybe zoom in or zoom out or pan the map, just to make sure that I can review the data and I can see the description of this data as well. So mainly this is the way we use ArcCatalog, is to manage and view our GIS data. And also, if you go back to ArcMap, you have access to the catalog tree. So if you look at this section here, you can actually view the data right here. So you can drag it and drop it right here, and you can create new connections. So whatever you have here, it's exactly what you have in here, this catalog tree part. So it gives you easy access from ArcMap to your catalog tree from right here. And we were going to use this in the next videos. So that's basically what ArcCatalog is, and we'll go in the next video. Thank you.